I recently was willing to try sexual acts on a camera with an individual. How do you guys feel about capturing yourself having sex? Is that art?
It is. It's an art form.
It's an art form that many are not good at.
No. I've tried it once. It didn't work out very well.
Right? It's awkward.
It didn't work. It wasn't awkward, I would say. I would say we don't give porn stars the credit that they're due.
Clearly, because that's how you know. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Because there is nothing clearer to me than when I try to make my own porn and it doesn't look like the porn that I have seen on television. Nothing. That is not right. Carla, have you ever filmed yourself having sex or doing a sexual act?
Yeah, I have. I'm digging it. I think it's cool.
Oh, you think you look good in it? You could go right to the theater. You're ready to be in your first porn.
Well, not that far. I'm not ready for that.
Well, you got a good name for it. You got a good name for it. She blows it.
Yeah.
That would be the name. Hello. She
blows it, literally.
I like that. What about you, Dewan? Are there any film scenes going on in your home?
Yeah, sure. To go to what 13 was saying about like the porn stars and the credit, right? It's kind of like you, LA, when you went from a podcast to talk show, right? And your producers could probably actually tell you how difficult of a job it is, right? So like you want to catch like the right angles and the most flattering angles, right? Yes. So that's why they're porn stars, because they know how to work the camera. So they may go from hard cam to like mobile 1. No, now we need a shot for mobile 2 because this like the ass is like bouncing just right in this thing. Oh, wait a minute, I like her. Right. I like her face in this one, so go to like mobile 2, right? So like you're being directed. So when you film it at your house, actually, I thank professional wrestling for this, because they teach us they train us to like wrestle for TV. So I know where like the cameras are at all times. So like you're kind of like intuitive, you know what I'm saying? About, okay, look, this position will look good from this angle, like, and this, that, and the third. And it's a good experience had by all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm surrounded by art in my home here. And this one in particular with the saxophone and the silhouette of the woman's body and all of those different things, it already just exemplifies all of the aspects of art. But I really want to hear what it is that your poetry sounds like.
I could. Would door number 1 or door number 2?
Ooh, door number 1 or door number 2? What automatically comes to your head?
Door number 2.
Really? I thought you. Well, maybe
we should go for door number 1.
You're door number 1, right?
We're taking a vote.
Yeah, I was number 1 too. So I don't know. Actually, the answer to the question is both. To be honest, because I always want it all. I don't want just one or the other. I want it all.
Oh, okay. So let's do it then. The title of this piece is called "Lifetime Love."
Lifetime love.
Souls talk to one another when couples make love for real, instead of just fucking. Because the act in the physical should be something that the spirit can feel. Because any boy with man parts can make it feel good when he's poking, but it takes a man's stroke to connect body parts with emotions. So I would love to be that orgasm that's always on your mind and never left your lips, but it's seen in your eye. And if you're not down with exploring jungles of sexual pleasure, you probably shouldn't apply. Because I don't believe that she felt me unless I leave her body stretched out and soaked. After having to hop up on top and rock until the bed drops or the headboards broke, because the heat from my love should make her sweat to the point that when I pick her up and put her against the wall, that the paint from the wall comes off on her back. And every time she walks by that spot, she comes again catching flashbacks of the eye contact when I told her that I would have her back and that I would never hit and quit, because real men don't get down like that. See, when love making is real, minds, bodies, and souls align, kind of like my stomach and her spine when I'm delivering back shots and pulling hair. And I'm pile driving and making a field of love that is there, but each inch that I'm deep inside of you, see, each inch represents another end of the earth that I'm willing to go to, covering the earth's high and low and dry and wet spaces in the same way that my hands cover your curves, slowly. Because truthfully, I can't say that I've done anything unless I touch her in more places than just between her legs, and my love making becomes a blame for all your bad habits like cursing and smoking. So forgive me if me talking about missionary position has caused you to see me outside of my missionary position. Then drag me to the highest mountain and let me confess before God himself that I'm wrong. But I had to write this poem in order to educate some young fool that when you make love for real Trojan, don't make a condom that can last that long. So fuck jumping up on top of a woman and humping for 15, 30, or 45 minutes at a time. Because when you make love for real, that shit should last a lifetime. Cheers.
I shed
That
a
was
tear,
awesome.
okay? There's a tear and there's goosebumps. That is crazy cocktail bar worthy.
Getting all 10 fingers.
Woo, all senses. I don't need, there's senses that you just created in me
Yeah.
with that.
The
Wow.
metaphors
Can I
were
handle the other
amazing.
one? What'd you say, Carla?
Say again?
The metaphors and the double entendres in there were amazing.
Yeah, like you did a lot
Like
in
the-
that poem.
The hair, the wall, the coming part, that was awesome.
He talked about the memory of what he was already doing. Like what? That's real cockiness. If I am having sex with you and I'm gonna tell you, you know, you gonna remember this shit. That is gangster. You do it different over there in Virginia Beach.
Listen, I just listen. Every sex session, so to speak, should be like an episode, or it should be an experience. And if
Yes.
you're not creating an experience for your partner, what the fuck are you really doing? Like,
Maxilius, can you roll my joint? Because I'm gonna need one after this.
like,
Thank you.
know what I mean? Some things went down, and it was kind of just like, how can I capture this for myself? How can I capture this for myself? Like, in the event that the relationship might not work out, but this experience was one for the ages. So it's kind of like 13 was saying earlier, it's an extension of self, but it's also like a capturing of yourself. It's kind of like like Dumbledore on Harry Potter, pulling the memories out and putting them into those little jars, so he can always go back and revisit them. And so that was literally written like shortly after the heat of the moment. So it was
fresh.
pure, raw, and authentic emotion.
Oh, wow. I felt that raw and authentic. I felt it. I felt it all over. Yeah, I appreciate you. Maxilius is going to roll me something real nice right now because that's one to remember. So thank you. I don't know if I can handle the second one. But speaking about experiences, we are going to recreate the experience of art right here in the studio. We are going to paint Maxilius and a wonderful fairy by the name of Jazz Fairy. We're going to paint the body because, I don't know, just before we throw to that, have you ever painted another person? Have you ever got involved and messy with hand painting or painting in general? Carla or Dewan?
I have.
Yeah? Tell me about that experience.
Well, when I was in the entertainment business, I'll just say it like that. We had nights where we would just do different shows, and a part of those shows, a lot of it would be two dancers on stage, and there would be like paint all over the stage, and we would just like do whatever. Like we'll just put our hand on the stage and like smack each other's asses, and we have like handprints of our hands on each other's asses, or we would just take the paint and just like rub it all over each other's face or whatever. Like
This sounds like a party. Can I come to the next one? It's a date when you
Well,
come to Toronto.
Yeah, we should do that when I come to Toronto. But it's so fun, and like it's slippery, and like you slide around and you just have a lot of fun, like just touching each other.
Right?
So
And the experience is sensual for you.
it is. And I'm
Yeah.
a touchy-feely type of person, so I'm just like, ooh, okay.
Oh, so it's like an escape for you too then. Sex in art is a form of escapism as well then.
Yes, it is.
like
And I
that.
incorporate yoga into that, like body movement with it, because I'm very in tune with my body and what I do with it, if you know what I mean. When
I
do
hear
what
you.
I do.
I believe
Carla's
the
like,
term,
I said what I said.
I believe the term
He turned his hat back.
the term you're looking for is tantra.
That part.
Is what,
That's the word you're looking for, is tantra.
Tantra.
okay.
It is.
Tantra.
I think sex in art is very tantric. I like that. Well, coming up in foreplay, we are going to paint our two models and turn them into African sex gods and sex goddesses. So I'm looking forward to it. 13 is going to guide me through it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm a photographer, okay? I cannot paint anything. I can't draw anything. But I will say, Dewan, that when I see a picture, I can write, not as well as you, but I can tap into some of that. So I also like to describe what I'm looking at, opposed to just writing something and then somebody takes a picture of that. I'd work the other way around. But it's coming up.
Well-
It's coming up in foreplay, so be right back.